All right, guys, so we have been talking about helping verbs last week, and so we're going to just talk a little bit more about helping verbs and making sure that they agree with the subject of the sentence, okay? So we're going to look at our helping verb song again, and we're going to sing it really quick. I want you to get up, stand up, and march your feet while we're singing this. Ready? So it goes, be, is, am, are, was, were, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, can, could, would, should, may, must, might, will, shall, being. Okay, so those are our helping verbs. And we need to talk about how they can agree in the sentence, because all of these different verbs you use different versions of them whenever you have different subjects. So if I have I am going to the store, but if that was still going, I may say you are going to the store, or she is going to the store, right? So those are all different versions of the same helping verb, but we use different verbs depending on what the subject is. So let's look at this. So just like I just said, is, am, and are related, okay? So those are all present tense, meaning that they're happening right now, but I use different ones depending on if it's I or you or he or she or they, okay? So this would be if it was he or she is, oops, let me make that a little bit better. He or she is, I am, you are, okay? Let's look at another one. Let's look at have, has, and had, okay? So if I look at these are all different versions of the same verb, but they are used for different reasons. So I would say, I have, or they have. They have. I could say, I wouldn't say I has 4 bananas. That would not be an appropriate agreement. So that subject and verb do not agree. Okay. So I may say, she has, or he has. I also may use have for you. It may be you have, or I have, or they have, or we have. This would also be true for this one up here. It would be we are, or they are. Okay? Had is past tense, meaning it already happened. So I could say, I had, you had, he or she had, you had. It doesn't matter for that one. It doesn't matter what the subject is. Had can work if it was past tense. If I said, I had 4 baseball cards tomorrow, that wouldn't make sense because tomorrow is in the future and had means something in the past. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's say was and were. Was and were are 2 different tenses, present tense and past tense. Was is happening happened in the past. Were also happened in the past. So I could say, I wouldn't say you was, right? I would say I was, she was, he was, and then for were, it would be you were, they were, we were. All of those would work for were. So it just depends on what the subject is for that one. Let's look at the next one. Do, does, and did. Do, does, and did. So those, I would say, I do, or you do. I do, or you do. He does, she does. I think that's all for that one. And then those are both present tense. Also for do, you could say they do. I do, you do, they do, we do. Those would all work for do. And then does would be he or she does. For did, it would be anyone, right? So just like had, it could be, that's because that's past tense. So it would be I did, you did, we did, they did, he or she did, right? All of those would work for did. So with subject and verb agreement, it's important that you're looking at the subject, and it's also important that you're looking at the tense of the verb. Is it happening now, or did it happen in the past, or will it happen in the future? So all of those are important. Okay, so those are the main ones that we're going to talk about for subject-verb agreement, and we will do some examples. So over here, if I said, I has gone shopping. I has gone shopping. Well, first let's identify our helping verb and our main verb. What's our helping verb? Has, and what's our main verb? Gone. Remember, gone is the main verb, which is the action verb. It's the action that's happening in the sentence. Okay? So has. Does has agree with my subject? What's the subject of my sentence? The subject is I, right? So I'm going to say, not I has. It would be I. We could have two options here. We could either have I have gone shopping or I had gone shopping, depending on if it's talking about, actually, let's just add that to our sentence. I had gone shopping yesterday. So that would be in the past, so I wouldn't use have, I would use had. Okay, let's do another example. What if I said, you does like bananas. Does that sound right? It does not sound right. So that's another way that you can pay attention to whether or not the subject and verb agree is you can read it out loud and say, does that sound right or not? And in this case, it does not sound right. So what doesn't sound right? Let's look at the helping verb and the main verb. The helping verb in this case is does, and the main verb is like. So instead of does, what should I have there? You do like bananas. You do like bananas. Or if I had a different subject, I could say she does like bananas or he does like bananas, right? All right, so those are a couple of examples. You are going to do awesome on your seesaw activity. Thanks for watching, guys.